And what is unique about this? With these 300 institutes, we have educated so far 14,000 students. 14,000 students have gained knowledge on this. And what is more important is that more than 35,000 students, okay, I'm just doing this, just coming. More than 35,000 students have understood there is a field called storage. You know, the students were not aware of it, including my son. My son is doing grade 11th year of schooling. He doesn't know a storage as an industry. He knows PCs, he knows Microsoft, he knows IBM, and he knows HP because there's printer in his school. So that's what he knows. He doesn't know there is an important IT field called storage. He doesn't know a company called EMC. Forget about other things. So he knows, okay, Papa works there, so he knows that company name. That's the way it is. So that is the beauty of this whole initiative, where we are touching the lives of every student in the world. And what benefit this is going to give it to the customers or the people who are going to employ the students? It is going to decrease the cost and shorten the readiness time. When someone goes with the storage knowledge, it is a huge benefit for the employers, because employers need not to train them, because they are fully aware of storage technology and they are ready to get into the job. That's what it is. So again, once again, thank you for your support to the EAA program. I just want to jump into the next topic which I want to highlight, cloud computing and VCE. How many of you are aware of cloud computing? You all must have heard, right? And you are doing some kind of research. How do you really make it happen? What I have done is, the first few slides is a basic just to set everybody at the same level on what is the basics of cloud computing and what are its challenges. Then once I cover that, I can talk about a new initiative which EMC, Cisco, and VMware is an EMC company, joined together to create a cloud computing platform for enterprises like, let's say, China Telecom, or Bank of China, or Singapore Telecom, or Bank of New York. How we have come together to create a computing platform for that. Okay, what is cloud computing and why it is important? Just three aspects to it. Today, IT is spending money on just managing the existing infrastructure, providing services to the existing business. They are not enabling new business. 70+% of IT expense, this is an IDC study, 70+% of IT expense goes into just to maintain what is happening in the IT. Only 30%, less than 30%, is used to deliver new capabilities, because millions and millions of dollars are being invested in IT, but you are not getting new capabilities to that. Now, to overcome that, people said we need to have something different, something new. That's where people evolve with a concept called cloud computing. What is cloud computing? It's simple. In olden days, when heavy industries were started, they needed power. What they were doing, they were starting the industry closer to a river so that they can generate electric from hydroelectric powers, or they were having the industry closer to a coal mine so that they can have the thermal energy there. So that's the way they were generating electricity to run their business. Now, in today's sense, you don't need to have that, because today you can get electricity from anywhere. You just use like a utility, and then you are doing that. You're running your core business which is actually either it's a manufacturing or services or any of the business you run, or even education. You don't need to have electricity to be generated in-house. You just take it from the utility company and use it. Similar to that, it is a new style of computing where you just plug into a cable, like you just plug into a socket, you get your complete computing power, you get your application software, you get your platform on which you want to develop a new application. Everything you get on the cloud. The cloud is the name why the cloud is there is, sorry, just want to go back. Okay, the name cloud, because if you look at it, we are used to drawing cloud whenever we want to go to the internet. The internet we use to represent as a cloud. The network we use to represent as a cloud. So same thing, cloud computing, I'm getting the computing power from the cloud, from somewhere who is going to provide me. That's what it is, right? If you look at, if you look at what is happening in today's data centers, you have isolated data centers. You may have a business may have a data center in London, maybe in Los Angeles, maybe in New York, somewhere else it may have the data centers. But all these data centers are covered or independent on its own. Only the communication is happening between the data centers. See now, let's say I have a powerful server in London. Let's assume that there is an application in Shanghai which needs to run, which needs more power. But if I don't physically have the server there, I cannot run my application. That means I need to buy a new server to run that application. So that is the way it is. There is a communication which is happening between all the data center, but I cannot share the computing power. I cannot share the software capability. I cannot share the platform across the multiple data centers. What cloud computing does, it enables sharing of computing power. It enables sharing of software across different data center, across the geo. So even if I'm starting something new today, even if I don't have the power today, I can actually get into the cloud computing environment and I can be accessing a server in, let's say, Shanghai from Beijing, and then I can get all the power, computing power required for that. That is the beauty of the cloud computing. Now, one point you may want to look at it here, it is not only the physical servers, and it is also the small envelopes, you see it here. Now, what this does is, these are actually called virtual machines. The small orange and blue, they are all the virtual machines. It's actually called virtualization. That's what is happening. In a cloud computing, the key thing is virtualization. Because when you virtualize, what happens is you take a couple of servers and put them together and make them to behave like a one big server. Or put 10 or 20 servers, make them to behave like a mainframe. So that's what is virtualization. Suppose if you have a very powerful server, then make them to behave like a 10 or 15 small servers. So that is what is virtualization. So what happens here is, I may physically have only 3 servers, but I may have 6 machines running on it. When I say 6 machines, virtual machines, it is 6 operating systems installed, 6 different operating systems installed on 3 machines, and maybe 6 different applications running on that. So that is the whole virtualization concept on that. So that is what happens in the cloud computing. Cloud computing enables sharing of computing power across the globe, wherever it is. Now, if you logically break that into cloud computing as a one big computer which has applications, platform, and then the infrastructure. So now today there are terms which says software as a service. Salesforce.com is an example of that. That is, you can just subscribe to Salesforce.com and you can run your CRM applications. You just need to have a thin client to do it.